Hey, what's up, everybody? Gonna do, I guess it's a classic rock reaction, but this is more specifically a rock documentary, man. A rockumentary. And this is called Festival Express from 1970. And this is a documentary featuring a bunch of performances across Canada in 1970, and the performers were going from one city to another by rail car. So it's really, really interesting what was actually happening on the rail car as well as the actual performances. Now, I've had a taste of this previously in the past with doing a reaction for Jack Sarrow last August. And these were the lineup of his quad reaction. And so recently I've been approached by Finesse Muse to do the entire documentary. So Finesse Muse, thanks very much, man. Finesse Muse says, "Hey Wayne, I have a rockumentary request called Festival Express 1970, not Federal Express. I might actually bite my tongue a few times. Thank you for linking the quad that Jack Sarrow previously sent you last year to jog my memory, and this full rockumentary request will give us the opportunity to watch and enjoy the whole show. I remember now, after watching that excellent quad footage I had never seen before, had me thinking I need to find the whole film. When Yogi Schultz mentioned it again, it had me digging for a YouTube link to send you." Yeah, shout out to Yogi Schultz, because he's the one who first mentioned reacting to the full rockumentary. "It would be real cool to watch the whole rockumentary with you. It has some great historical footage, and the story of its restoration is fascinating. For your review portion at the end. Thank you very much. Peace." Right on, man. So thank you, Vanessa. I appreciate it. So let's hit this up, y'all. The Festival Express, and it's featuring acts like the band, Janis Joplin, and others. So really, really cool. I know that Jerry Garcia is in it as well, and a whole bunch of other really, really excellent acts from the day. All right, man. Festival Express 1970. Let's get it.
We're entering a new time where no one can hold us back from voicing our honest opinion.
Cheers, baby.
We want a world where we're safe to be ourselves.
One Night in Miami. Rated R. Watch now. Only on Prime Video.
Going through a commercial first.
Driving that train, pound cocaine. Casey Jones, you better watch your speed. Trouble ahead, trouble behind. And know that notion just crossed my mind.
I gotta show my dad this, man.
This old engine
Just knowing that the
makes
dad's in
on
it, he's
time. Leave Central Station about 8:45. Hit Trevor Junction at 17:02 at 9:45. You know it's traveling again. Driving that train, pound cocaine. Casey Jones, you better watch your speed. Trouble ahead, trouble behind. And know that notion just crossed my mind.
police had their work cut out for them back then. There she is. What could have been?
Drive your train. yes, but you still don't see. Come round the bend, you know it's the end. The fireman screams and the engine just gleams. Driving that train, I'm cocaine. Casey Jones, you better watch your speed. Trouble ahead, trouble behind. And you know that notion just crossed my mind. Driving that train, I'm cocaine. Casey Jones, you better watch your speed. Trouble ahead, you know, trouble behind. And you know that notion just crossed my mind. And you know that notion just
Was that
crossed
Shannon, huh?
my mind.
No, couldn't have been.
Going down the road, feeling bad. Going down the road, feeling bad. Going down the road, feeling bad. No, 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 don't wanna be treated this way. Mama told me, son.
We're going to get a whole bunch of acts together and do a big festival. And rather than do it at one site, I said we're going to travel the country on a private train.
Well, the normal mode was to go into fly into a city, do the show, and then leave. So this was, you were kind of like a traveling circus.
I wanted it to be a party, so I put amps and a Hammond B3 and a drum kit in the bar car, and I set it up like that.
It was unusual because you never expected to open a passenger car door and see a band playing, you know, and microphones and cameras, and it was not only a concert on the stage, it was a concert for the entire travel.
The phrase has become common now about leaving your ego at the door. We left our egos at the station, quite frankly.
I had a hard time getting CN to agree to rent me the train. Originally, they told me that I'd have to go from west to east. And I said, you know, no way. Let's go west, young man.
And just imagine putting a bunch of crazy musicians together and telling them to go have a good time. Try and have a good time. Not a problem.
I knew that this was going to be our home for next week. You know, I said, wow, what an adventure. I thought, this is really in the spirit of the music and of the times, you know, and trying new things.
The creative bug.
I said, this is going to be
Renaissance
exciting.
period.
And the people they had on there was exciting as the train ride was.
I got a shirt like that, man. He looks better in it.
It was a train full of insane people careening across the Canadian countryside, making music night and day, and then occasionally we'd get off the train and go play a concert.
Grateful Dead, Grateful Dead.
So this must have taken him definitely a few weeks from one end of the country to the other.
Don't ease me in. I've been all night longer than home. Don't ease me in. I was standing on the corner, a dollar in my hand. I was looking for one sweet mama, didn't have no man. Don't ease me in. tea. You know she brings me every nothing but the jailhouse key. Don't ease me in.
I did have Gone Too Soon for Pigpen. I'll try and link it. Let's be real, I don't even know if this is gonna make it onto YouTube.
Please don't ease me in. I've been all night long coming home. Don't ease me in. I was walking down Main, a deep element too. You know all the women round there got the Texas blue. Don't ease me in. I've been all night long coming home, and don't ease me in. Don't ease me in. I've been all night long coming home, don't ease me in.
And the idea of this festival was an ingenious one. Instead of like getting everybody from all over the continent and everywhere to come to one place, it would be like the mountain would go to Muhammad. Like you would take this festival to the various places. And it was a great idea, except of course by this point, it had reached Canada, the idea that all these festivals really should be free.
Just in front of the festival, we received this leaflet that told people to boycott buying tickets for this festival. And it said that, this is our music, $14 is an outrageous fee, and the festival should be free.
As I recall, there were some people who were quite vocal about thinking that the musicians should be playing, we should be playing for free, regardless of the expense that it takes for us to get there, and the fact that we need to make a living. And
no market research back in the day, I guess.
$27,000 worth of pay-duty police, 400 men a shift. And I had them on horseback. And I had a good relationship with the police department. So I knew I was going to be facing protesters. And I was prepared for that.
There are a hell lot of people out there. They're having their heads busted by the pig. And why don't... He made his money. Why don't you let them in now? You gonna get any more money? See what I mean? The pigs are inside. He's a pig like the rest of them.
Hey, could everybody calm down for a minute? Oh, wait a minute. Hold it. We're trying to do something, and Jerry Garcia would like to explain to you exactly what we're trying to do.
The thing we're trying to do is organize another sort of scene that we can have here. And we would like, if possible, man, to have like about a half hour of just coolness so that we can work something out that would be an alternative to all this hassling and see if we can avoid getting people hurt. You have to remember, man, that somebody put their neck out to put on a festival here. They didn't have to do it. All this stuff is like voluntary in nature. We're trying to put on a free stage, man. You don't have to go for it. You can believe it or not, but that's where it's at right now. Be back in a while.
I talked to
see how good the music was back then.
Metro's finest. And I said, there's a little park not far from here. Why don't we set up a free concert over there? And,
It's got that soul-grabbing
he said,
element.
"No
That's
problem."
why they're acting like
He
that.
said, "Good idea."
We finally got all that together that we were talking about before for the people outside. Here's Sam Cutler, the manager of the Grateful Dead, to explain it all to you.
What we managed to get together is 2 flatbed trucks, and we'll be over in Coronation Park.
It seemed to us as long as we were there, we could go ahead and play something for free, and we did.
I set out from Reno, I was trailed by 20 hounds. Didn't get to sleep that night till the morning came around. I set out running, but I take my time. A friend of the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight.
Baby girl is stoned.
These kids came without money in their pockets. They had no intention of paying. So just to get them away from the gates so that paying customers could make it in was really in my best interest. And I didn't mind doing it.
You know, the word was out that the protests had, you know, fucked the promoters, and that despite the music and
You had
despite
no choice, though.
the pleasure that the people who were attending were having with the music, it was going to be a financial disaster.
But I'd like to see them, you know, get as many people as can possibly come, because there's a fantastic amount of great lineup of talent, you know.
Yeah, it's funny.
If you figure, people say the tickets are too high, but if you figure it's less than $1 per super group, you know.
Folks, the band.
How do you think this should have been handled from the very beginning? I mentioned market research in a joking slant, but you know what? I'm actually serious about that. Or I'll be wearing glasses. Before I look at Levon Helm, I always think of the Elton John song. I don't think it was written with him in mind, though, I'm pretty sure.
I think the promoters realized this was a lost cause, that they weren't going to make a profit. And whereas some promoters might say, to heck with it, you know, they said, well, we're on a train, let's go for it.
They knew how hard they were bleeding right from the first Toronto concert. And they must have known, based on the numbers, that they weren't going to make that back. But they never held up on anything for the artists.
You know, when we were in Montreal ordering the train, they were going to give me a cafeteria
Why
car.
Canada?
And I said, I
Should
don't
this
want a
have been?
cafeteria car. I want
Should
a
this have
proper
been
dining
done
car.
in Canada?
And this is like the
Would
Orient
they not
Express to a lot
turn a
of these,
bigger
musicians.
profit
And I said, now I want
in the
snacks
States?
at night, and I want decent sandwiches.
Doing this in the
not
States?
Spam sandwiches, and not bologna, and not peanut butter and jam. And I said, if anybody says that they've gotten up late and they want breakfast, you'll make it.
Somebody on the train said,
Man, save the
Woodstock
peanut
was
butter and
a
jam
treat
sandwiches. What are you
for
talking
the audience, and the train was a treat for the performers. I mean, you would get up, people would be playing, you'd go to sleep, get up again, and there'd be another group of people.
There was no escape. I mean, the only place you could go really is to your room, which sometimes you needed a rest, go back or to sleep. But so it's kind of like this little La Boheme society, you know, and people really began to appreciate what it was and love it.
It's great, man. 24 hours a day, you can go and jam when you want to. There's always somebody there. It's a great concept.
It was 24-hour day. It was nonstop. So it was great to have that opportunity to actually hang with some people that you liked and would never normally get to spend much time with.
Oh, hear the mighty billows roll. Better take Jesus with you. He's a true companion, for I'm sure without him she never will make it home. That awful day of judgment is coming in the mind by. We'll see our Lord descending in glory from on high. Oh, let us keep in touch with Jesus. Let us precious love of God. Maybe it's already when it calls over Jordan's tide. Oh, look at that cold Jordan. Look at its deep water. Look at that wide river. Oh, hear the mighty billows roll. You better take Jesus with you. He's a true companion. For I'm sure without him that you never will make it up. Oh, what you gonna do? What you gonna say? How you gonna feel?
As you know, there was the blues car, the country car, the folk car, whatever. You know, you could drift from car to car and get involved in any number of jams, that some of which really did amount to some pretty heady stuff.
You could walk in and you didn't ask me what I was playing. You just looked at me and I looked
More
at
than
you.
just one
I
part.
nodded my head, vice versa, and you played. And you didn't say play it like this or play it like that. You just got in there some kind of way, you know.
Nice. Great melting pot. Love that.
I can't do it, baby. Well, Lord, I tried so hard, but I just can't do it, baby. No, no. I can't do it, baby. Yo. Well, Lord, I tried so hard, but I just can't do it, baby. Oh, no. You made me mess up my happy home. Well, girl,
It was, I believe, 2.5 days from Toronto to Winnipeg. And for any musician that was on this train, it was like heaven.
It's a focal point. A very enjoyable 2 days riding this train with the groups
jamming, and being together. Unlike a lot of other festivals, you rush in and you rush out, and they don't see each other. They're here, and we're here all to make a living and to provide entertainment. When it gets to the point where kids, as in Toronto, want to become violent, it doesn't go hand in hand with the kind of entertainment the groups want to provide and we want to provide.
And all these kids got uptight because the admission was too high, and they decided they were going to have a riot. They busted some cop's head, man. They busted it wide open. He's got a plate in his head now, and he may still be in critical condition. Is that worth $16 fucking?
The kids got busted wide open too.
Who started it?
Usually,
got busted.
Nobody got busted.
No.
22 kids got arrested because they jumped the fence and it was against the law. They weren't supposed to.
One kid-
Because when you play, you pay.
Is that worth a $16 ticket? Is that worth $16? Nearly killing some cop, nearly killing a person.
Listen, let me tell you
And those
something.
cops
I've
up
been
there, I
around.
talked to a lot of them, and they were all boss. They were all good people.
Basic thing that the Saturday papers, and I guess they caught the last bit before the papers went to run, all they showed was, one shot I know that was used as a national photo was a policeman's horse reared up. They forgot to tell you that somebody threw pepper at the horse. They forgot to show you the shots of the kids that were inside the show enjoying it.
There was 40,000 people in there that had fun. You must have talked to the 2,000 outside the gate trying to get in.
The 2,000 outside the gates. Let me see something. I want to show the camera. Take a look at that.
Must we put up with yellow journalism?
People in Toronto demanded we let everybody in for free, or if we wouldn't accept that, they were willing to accept 60% of the gross ticket sales, which they would distribute as they saw fit.
That was nice.
And also they wanted free food and free dope.
These people weren't looking for free music, they were looking for trouble. They were looking for an excuse to bust cops' heads. They were, pathologically anti-authoritarian. I know, I'm that way myself.
The press picked it up, and there was a movement formed in Winnipeg, and then one in Calgary. So ticket sales were not doing very well, mainly because of the protesters. So we lost a significant amount of money, and the bands all knew it. I said, hey, let's carry on and party.
Is it just protesting ticket sales, the ticket price? Is that all that they were protesting back then? I mean, this was around the time of Kent State as well, There's got to be more than that just bugging these kids. I need that time machine. Why Canada? I need to know this. Why not through the States? Wouldn't it be a lot more profitable? That's a jam, man. Damn.
Buddy Guy. Buddy Guy.
This shit could have been as big as Woodstock, if not bigger, had it been, I don't know, done better. Done, I don't know.
Your love give me such a thrill, but your loving don't pay my bill. I want some money, honey. I gotta have it. It's alright, it's on. Ow! It's alright. Don't get everything is true. What you don't get, I can't use. I got to have it. Hey, hey. It's alright, it's alright.
Brother playing the sexy sax. Is wearing a hot pink outfit.
I can't hide it. I'm a good away from the gotta have all of it. That's what I want. I'm sorry, I got to leave you now. Got to put you to down somehow. I gotta go. I hate to go yet. I gotta go. Baby, 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 baby. I got to go. I got to go.
How many people have covered this song? Whose version is your favorite?
So, I gotta go.
It's the Beatles version for me. excellent jam.
Will you welcome, please,
You old
the
cats
Flying
had it so
Burrito
good,
Brothers.
man.
It's a lazy day. I'm down with nothing else to do. It's a crazy day. I got a thing that I wanna try with you. Now, baby, don't go away. Please don't spoil my lazy day. Now, isn't it better than you know? Sitting down here by the radio. I'm gonna make you worry none about your income tax. I don't have much money, I'm gonna show you how to relax. Lazy day. I'm down with nothing else to do. It's a crazy day. I got a thing that I wanna try with you. Now, baby, don't go away. Please don't go my lazy day.
Doesn't he look like William Catt, the actor? Greatest American hero? I wonder how late at night this performance was. How late they actually went.
I pulled into Nazareth. I was feeling about 8:30. I just need to find a place where I can lay my head. Hey, mister, can you tell me where a man might find a bed? He just grinned and shook my hand. I know was all he said. And I want you to take a load off Fanny. Take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny. And you put the load right on me. I picked up my bag. I went looking for a place to hide. When I saw old Carmen and the devil walking side by side, I said, hey, Carmen, come on, let's go downtown. She said,
my friend, to stick around. And you can take a load off Fanny. Take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny. And you put the load right on me. Go on down, Miss Moses, 'cause there ain't nothing that you could ever say. It's just old Luke, and Luke's waiting on a judgment day. Well, Luke, my friend, what about old Anna Lee? He said, do me a favor, son, won't you stay and keep Miss Anna Lee company? I take a load off Fanny, take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny, and you put the load right on me.
Crazy Chester followed me and he caught me in the fog. He said, I will fix your rack if you just take Jack, my dog.
I said, wait a minute, Chester, you know I'm a peaceful man.
He said, that's okay, boy, won't you feed him when you can?
Yeah, yeah, take a load off Fanny, take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny, and you put the load right on me. Get your cannonball now to take me down the line. My bag is sinking low, and I do believe it's time to get back to Miss Fanny. You know she's the only one who sent me here with her regards for everyone. And I want you to take a load off Fanny, take a load. Take a load off Fanny, and you put the load right on me.
Janis Joplin.
Damn. Rest in peace, sleep on. Yeah.
Welcome back home. You know she tell you. And I know she told you that she loved you much, much more than I did. But I know she left you, and you swear that you just don't know why. But honey, you know it'll always be right. If you ever want me, come on and cry, cry, baby. Cry, baby. Cry, baby. Oh, honey, welcome back home. Don't you know? Honey, ain't nobody ever gonna love you the way I tried today to take your pain and all your heartache. And honey, you know it'll always, always be right. If you ever want me, come on and cry, cry, baby. Cry, baby. true, darling, that the grass always looks greener when you're looking in somebody else's eye. But honey, you know the real thing was waiting for you at home. I saw you did. I had a man. He said, honey, honey, you know that I love you. See, but I gotta go find myself, you know, I gotta go find my life. I gotta go find myself over in Africa, or over in New York City, or over in Olima. Someplace those cats are always wandering off to. I never figured out exactly where it was. I was going somewhere, man. And I said, baby, don't you realize you're looking for your life over there, honey? You know where your life is? Your life's waiting like a goddamn fool right here for you, man. And one morning you're gonna wake up in Casablanca, one of those fancy places, honey. You're gonna be freezing to death, man. You're gonna wake up and you say, good God, Lord. Good God, Lord. I just went off and left that woman in that great big huge double bed with a great big fur rug on top of it, no satin sheets, man. What am I doing in Casablanca, man? I mean, really, man. One of these days that cat's gonna wake up and say that to himself. And when he comes back home, there, just like a Capricorn that I am, I'll be standing there waiting, man. Said, baby, I knew one day, and I knew one day, cause you finally come on home to me. Honey, when you walk through my front door, I'm gonna be able to tell by the look in your eyes. I say, good God, that man finally done got it. Lord, that man finally done realize. So you can put your head on my shoulder, baby, yeah. Cause I know you got some more tears to shed, dear. So come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, and cry, cry, baby. Cry, baby. Cry, baby. Oh, honey, welcome back home. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cry,
Can you think of anyone else who matches her intensity?
I know when you wanna get a little bit lonely, baby. Cry.
She's like a raging inferno.
You can talk to your mama now. Honey, you can talk to your sweet little mama now. Cry, cry, baby. Cry, baby. Cry,
She's awesome, man. Where's that time machine at? Damn. Fantastic. There'll never be another. Canadian National.
When we left Winnipeg, it was like, can we leave now? You know, everybody just wanted to get right back on the train.
We went back on the train, and we had an overnighter to Calgary, and
Party.
that was a long one. but nobody really noticed.
That must have been so much fun for the performers. Seeing the countryside outside, we're jamming.
It seemed that time was sort of suspended, you know. Like, usually a performer wants to get there, get his job done, and get home. In this situation, he wanted it to go on forever.
Great concept, man. Such a great idea. It could have been an annual thing. Could you imagine? But this is something that probably have to spend years putting together, organizing, making sure everything is just
all night long, and I said, I gotta
tightened
go
up.
to sleep, man. Every time I went to bed, I thought I was gonna miss something, and I said, well, I gotta go back again. And I wouldn't, as a matter of fact, I'd never just stay in the bed for an hour.
This train was not for sleeping. It was for a lot of other things, but not for sleeping. Very few people slept on this train.
Most all of us were new to drinking at that point, too. We'd all been taking LSD or smoking pot or whatever, and this was a new experience for a lot of us. And it worked just fine.
The CN guy came to me and said, they've drank us dry. And I said, well, where's the next stop? And he said, we're not scheduled for a stop. I said, you are now. So I told everybody on the train, they've run out of booze, but we're making an emergency stop. And then we passed the hat. And if I remember correctly, I think we collected about $800. So we made a run on the liquor store. Then on the way out, I saw up on a shelf a display bottle of Canadian Club. And so I said, I looked up and I said, I'll have that too. And he said, it's a display bottle, it's not for sale. I said, it's for sale now, and if you don't climb up and get it down, then I'm going to get somebody to climb up and bring it down. So when we got back to the station, the guys that were with us, the performers that were with us, were absolutely ecstatic.
They did run out of booze, and they did stop in Saskatoon. The whole damn train stopped, like in front of a liquor store. And they bought the place out. So the ride that night, I mean, there was a party you couldn't believe.
Wow. Can you imagine the memories? That's straight up, not mixed with anything.
Somebody doctored that big bottle of Canadian Club, and you could see little gel caps at the bottom floating around down there. I did my best to stay away from that, but even so, there was more going on than at that point than just the alcohol. There were psychedelics involved, and I don't know what kind or how much, but that train was sort of buzzing down the rails. We achieved liftoff for sure.
Oh, baby girl, she's just barely keeping it together. Should go to bed, honey.
Gee, 1910. and Jerry takes it. So then she said that we've all been here for 43 years.
44 of you.
And everybody said, so she said if everything ain't legal by the time we get down to it and we make it free and it lasts for years. And everybody says, so the last time we'll say, ain't no more king on the
Ain't no more pain.
It's all been to molasses.
Imagine being part of that party.
Ain't no more brain in the castle.
We said, thank you, Jerry Garcia.
Great at all, man. Fuck it.
God bless you, folks. God bless you. Peace, love, truth, beauty. Rock on.
Are we in Calgary already? Are we in Calgary yet?
We're stopped. Hey, we're in Alberta. Maybe we ought to run out and take a look.
Alberta.
Oh, you just
Alberta,
left.
then your hair
Alberta,
hang
don't let your
down.
hair hang down. No.
Man, we're also stopped, man. We can get off the train and go and buy
I know
something.
folks think I heard
Janis, I've loved you ever since the day I saw you.
I gotta tell you.
God's own cop out.
Professing his drunken love. She's
I
like,
don't
keep
think
going.
we're putting out, man, really. It's gotten too good. How you doing, Daddy?
It's gotta be, what, 2, 3 in the morning?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'm sure there was somebody making rounds saying, okay, Janis, you're performing in 4 hours. Get to ground. You
When
know,
we got to
go
Calgary,
to sleep.
the mayor
That sort of thing.
was this radical character who came out on, and he said in this very kind of grandiose way, I demand that the children of Calgary pass through the gates free.
Well, the mayor of Calgary decided that he was going to become a big hero to these kids who were also protesting. And he came backstage and said to me that I should open the gates and let the children of Calgary in free. And I refused. So he called me Eastern scum and a capitalist strip-off son of a bitch. And my answer is his teeth in my knuckles. That was my answer.
Give a hand, Shanana!
Live by the sword, die by it. It was Shanana. Damn.
To say to you, and that is that rock and roll is here to stay. always here to stay. I think it's meant to be that way, but I don't know why. I hope you appreciate rock and roll is here to stay. We don't care what people say. Rock and roll is here to stay. Rock and roll will always be our dignity. We'll go down in history, just you wait and pray. Rock and roll will always will go down in history.
Remember the TV show? These guys were still rocking the gold suits. Who do you think my favorite was? It wasn't Bowser. It was Big Lenny, the dude playing the sexy sax. There it is. No sax though.
Sha-na-na. They gotta catch a plane. Say goodbye to them. Give them a hand, please.
Aside from some early rain this afternoon, it's been a beautiful day with the temperatures near the 80s, an ideal sort of day for this type of festival. With 6,500 people here this afternoon, the big crowds are really expected tonight. As we mentioned earlier, this could be the high point of the Rock Festival Express tour.
So they only got as far as Calgary. They didn't make their way west to Vancouver. Because when you're saying go west, young man, you know, people have BC in mind. They have Vancouver in mind.
This train has got to run today. Spend a little time on the mountain, spend a little time on the hill. Some things get out of hand, this thing always will. I don't know, but I was told it's hard to run with the weight of gold. Other it's just as hard, the weight of lead.
I gotta ask my pops why he was never in attendance during this time. Where was he at this time in 1970?
You can't overlook the blackjack of any other highway to ride. It's got no signs or dividing lines and very few rules to guide. I spent a little time on the mountain, spent a little time on the hill. Heard some say better run away, others say better stand still. I don't know, but I was told if the horse don't you got to carry that load. No, no, stacks that stone. Baby, find out before too long. One way or another, one way or another, one way or another, this darkness got to give.
It's really good footage showing you what the crowd's doing.
One way or another, one way or another, one way or another, this darkness got to give. One way or another, one way or another, one way or another,
Taking the babies.
this darkness got to give. One way or another, one way or another, one way or another, this darkness got to give.
This shit is not gonna make it onto YouTube. Sadly.
I think that certainly what happened on the train carried over onto the stage because people just became aware of the possibilities. We ended up in Calgary doing some stuff with a lot of sort of crossovers too, and I mean, it really was quite extraordinary.
I wonder how late they were allowed to go till.
It was a totally unique experience. I've never had one like it before or since. There are a whole series of moments that are kind of crystallized for me on different levels. Some of them are musical, some of them are just sort of
She looks great,
moments.
don't she?
This is the part of this train tour we've been waiting for.
They say everything can be replaced. They say every distance is not near. So I remember every phase of every man who put me here. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released. They say every man needs protection. They say that every man must fall. Yet I swear I see my reflection somewhere so high above this wall. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released. Now yonder stands a man in his lonely crowd, a man who swears he's not to blame. All day long I hear him shouting so loud, just crying out that he was free. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released.
Beautiful. You feel that? That's why they were protesting, breaking cops' heads,
Good
and
time?
jumping over fences and shit.
Well, I want to tell you something, man. I don't know where
This
you've
music
been
had
all
some
week,
spice and
but
some
we've
life
been at
to
a
it back in the
party,
day.
right?
Really?
A party, man. I couldn't have thrown a better party, man. I finally met someone who can throw a better party than me. And I would like to bring them on stage and tell them thank you just from the performers, man. Okay? We got Thor Eaton,
And Ken Walker.
and Dave Williams.
Right.
I want to get them on, man. Get them on and give them a hand, because they sure showed us a good time, baby.
Hey, John Cook, where's the thing, man? John.
Wait. We happen to have a few presents to give these boys. The first one is a genuine train. That's labeled Festival Express on one car and Bar Car on the other car, because that's where the action was, man. And this is from everyone, and it's signed by everyone. This box is from me. It's a case of tequila. The train is for remembering, man. The tequila is for continuing, man. All right.
All right.
We give these people a hand, please, who put this entire thing on.
This is from us to you, baby. You're welcome, baby.
Just thank you for coming.
Hey, man, next time you throw a train, invite me, man. All right.
Ah, baby. There won't be a next time. Only 27.
Thought you had found yourself a good girl, one who would love you and give you the world. Now you find, honey, you but miss you. Come to me, honey, I'll do what you choose. I want you to. Well, tell mama all about it. Yeah, tell mama what do you need. Tell your mama, babe, what you want. Tell your mama, babe, what do you need. What do you want? What do you need? What do you want? Wow, I'll make everything alright. To your head, she didn't have no sense there. Was it worth of the time that you spent? Now that same many fools you outdoors. I just heard that meant all of your clothes. Hey, well tell mama all about it. Tell mama what do you need. Tell your mama, babe, what you want. Tell your mama, babe, what do you need. What do you want? What do you need? What do you want? Wow, I'll make everything alright, man. Rock and roll!
She's a perfect mix of rock, blues, and soul. She's got that gospel touch to her.
Was it worth all the time that you spent? And that same many thoughts you will do. I just heard that Miss all of your clothes. Hey, you tell mama all about it. Tell your mama what you need. Tell your mama, babe, what you want. Tell your mama, babe, what do you need? What do you want? What do you need? What do you want? Anything I could do. Anything I could do for you. Tell your mama, babe. Oh, mama, babe. Oh, mama, babe. Oh, mama, babe. Hey, your mama, babe. Lord, your mama, babe. Hey, your mama, babe. Yeah, your mama, babe. Wow. Sometimes I know you're lonely. Sometimes in the middle of the night. Sometimes when I know you get lonely, sometimes when I know you're right, I said every day I cry when I would not. Every day I cry when I would say every day love, hey, every day love. And I figure, I tell you, when you get lonely, and I figure everybody does, man. Because as a matter of fact, everybody does. I figure if you're a woman, and if you're really a woman, you already know what you need, man. You already know what you're looking for. Man, I found out at 14 years old. And I've been looking ever since, too. But if you happen to be a young cat, you know, like about 17 years old and about this tall, right? If you happen to be a young cat, man, and you ain't figured it out yet, I'll tell you what you need, baby. When you get those strange thoughts in your head, you don't know where they came from, man. You got those strange little weirdness that's happening to you, you don't know what they are. I'll tell you what you need. You need a sweet loving mama, babe. And a sweet talking mama, babe. You need a sweet loving mama, babe. And a sweet talking mama, babe. You need someone to listen to you, someone to want you, someone to hold you, someone to need you, someone to use you, someone to want you, someone to need you, someone to hold you, someone to want you, someone to hold you. You need a mama, 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 babe. Lord, mama, 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 mama. Mama, 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 hey, mama, 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 yeah, mama, 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 mama. Tell mama all about it. Tell mama all about it. What it needs, what it want, what it need, what you want. Anything I can do, anything I can do. I'll be your mama, baby. Yeah, your mama, baby. Wow, 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 mama, baby. Wow. I want everything alright. Hey. Hey.
Wow. Someone who's never heard or seen Janis, that is definitely what I would share with them.
It was all too short a time, but it seemed to go on forever when you were there. But when it was over, there was a sadness. There definitely was. It was a great experience.
It was better than Woodstock, as great as Woodstock was. And people who've heard of Woodstock will go, well, that's impossible, because they didn't know about this train.
Wow.
You know, it just was a brief moment in time when everybody came together for one last time to celebrate that utopian vision that we all started with.
It was truly wondrous time to be a musician. You know, people took music seriously, and the prospect for music becoming more than just entertainment or diversion.
I'll carry it the rest of my life, that I'll never get that chance to be with Jerry and Janis again. And things like that only happen once in a lifetime.
A magnificent historical event occurred in the history of rock and roll and music. And everybody knew it.
I think the lesson I learned was that I gave the public too much, and they didn't deserve it. And if I was to do it again, I wouldn't do it to that scale. And I'm thinking of doing another one.
You know, this train was happy until we stopped. Yeah, let's roll!
do it differently. Learn from
This train, we hadn't had a
mistakes.
newspaper, we hadn't had a bath. But this train was groovy.
We were happy, man. Maybe we had a few pits, but we had some good times.
And then we had to stop.
You haven't had a bath? Let me stop you right there.
Oh, sinner, as you tread on life's journey, take Jesus as your daily guide.
Until next year.
Though you may feel pure and safely, without him walking by your side. When you come to make the crossing, at the ending of his pilgrim's way, if you ever will meet your Savior, you'll surely meet him on that day.
Now look at that cold,
Old Jordan,
look at its
deep water,
look at that
wide river, oh, hear the mighty billows roll.
Now you better take
Jesus with you, true companion.
Oh, I'm
Sure without him that you never will make it home. That awful day of judgment is coming in the by and by. We'll see our Lord descending in glory from on high. When he's come to make trip for Jesus and in his precious love of God, he may be epic already when he calls over Jordan's tide.
Now look at that
Old Jordan,
look at its
deep water,
look at that
wide river, oh, hear the mighty billows roll.
Now you better take
Jesus with you,
He's a
true companion.
Oh, I'm
Sure without him that you never will make it home.
Now
What you gonna do?
and
Oh, what you gonna say?
and
How you gonna feel when you come to the end of the way?
Thanks a lot.
What a time. Damn. Okay, y'all. That was fantastic, man. Fantastic. The entire Festival Express Rockumentary. Fantastic. So, first off, outside right now, they're striking up the wind blowers and stuff like that. 7:30 in the damn morning. You hear that shit? Oh, that's the only downside to living in a condo complex. It's a big ass condo complex. We got like 3 buildings all in a big alcove, and they make a lot of noise in the morning, man. You can't sleep in around here. Anyway, it's all good. But I'm going to wait this out, and then we'll come back and we'll do a review of this great rockumentary. All right? I'll see you in a bit. Peace. Okay, y'all, here we are, man. I think the leaf blowers and all of that stuff has died down. Let's give this a shot. I just want to go through a little background on this really, really excellent rockumentary, man. And this great effort that they were undertaking back then to try and establish, I don't know, a Woodstock on rails, you know, something like that. But yeah, you know, I see the great creative thinking and the motivation for doing it. And I imagine that if they did it a few more times, they would knock all of the bugs out, and it would probably be a big booming success. But I got a question, man. Here's a question, and it's not a slight on Canada or anything, but why Canada? Why not through the States, where you have more probably of an established kind of festival venue affair thing, and it would probably be even bigger. You know, of course, there's a lot of details that I don't know about, but maybe you might know. But why Canada and why not the States? You know what I'm saying? Or maybe why not both? I don't know. Maybe it was starting small and then kind of maybe graduating eventually to something bigger. A lot more people in the States. I don't know. Let me know about that. It's very interesting for me. So let's do this, man. Let's do a little read here. And thank you, Finesse, for this link, the Wikipedia link for Festival Express. I hear more leaf blowers coming our way. Hopefully it doesn't get too loud. If it gets too loud, I'll stop and then wait it out for a little longer. So, Festival Express. Festival Express is a 2003 documentary film about the 1970 train tour of the same name across Canada, taken by some of North America's most popular rock bands, including the Grateful Dead, Janis Joplin, Band, Buddy Guy, Flying Burrito Brothers, Ian and Sylvia's Great Speckled Bird, and Delaney, Bonnie and Friends. The film combines footage of the 1970 concerts and on the train, interspersed with contemporary recollections of the tour by its participants. The film, released by Think Film, was produced by Gavin Pullman, son of the original 1970 film shoots producer Willem Pullman, together with John Trappin, and directed by double Grammy Award winner Bob Smeaton, with music produced by Eddie Kramer and featuring original footage shot in 1970 by Academy Award-winning cinematographer Peter Bizou. Or Biziou? B-I-Z-I-O-U. Sorry for butchering that. The original 1970 footage was filmed by director Frank Svetanovich. A DVD release followed the film's 2003 theatrical run. Concert tour. Festival Express was staged in 3 Canadian cities, Toronto, Winnipeg, and Calgary, during the summer of 1970. Yeah, that was another question. In the keeping with the idea of the whole Go West young man and all of that sort of thing, why didn't they extend all the way to Vancouver, right? It seems like it's just, I don't know, incomplete without hitting up a major Canadian city on the West Coast. I mean, you know, of course, a lot of people consider Alberta and Calgary West, but yeah, you know, I mean, to the very, very ocean itself, Vancouver. Why didn't you hit up Vancouver? Rather than flying into each city, the musicians traveled by chartered Canadian National Railways train in a total of 14 cars. 2 engines, 1 diner, 5 sleepers, 2 lounge cars, 2 flat cars, 1 baggage car, and 1 staff car. The train journey between cities ultimately became a combination of non-stop jam sessions and partying fueled by alcohol. One highlight of the documentary is a drunken jam session featuring the band's Rick Danko, the Grateful Dead's Jerry Garcia, Bob Weir, new Riders of the Purple Sage's John Dawson, as well as Janis Joplin. The Montreal event was cancelled a few weeks before the scheduled date by Lucien Saulnier, chairman of the City of Montreal, and acting under authority of the mayor Jean Drapeau, because it clashed with St. John Baptist Day, June the 24th, celebrations, and there were concerns about a diluted security force and the potential for violence. Yeah, I wonder what that would have looked like, man, had they tried to push through and do that in Montreal. Buses were run from Montreal to the Toronto Festival Express stop, and Montreal tickets were honored in Toronto. Okay, yeah, and so people were coming all the way from Quebec. The Vancouver venue, Pacific National Exhibition, Empire Stadium, could not be secured as they were scheduled to have artificial turf installed shortly before the scheduled event. Okay, and there was concern about damage to the turf. Okay. Yeah, okay, so they were trying to include Vancouver. All right. In March 1970, Walker requested use of an alternate venue, Capilano Stadium, for the event, but this was denied by the Vancouver City Council over several concerns, including inadequate sanitary and food facilities, challenges with policing, and vagrancy. Therefore, Vancouver was dropped from the tour, and Calgary was subsequently added. Oh wow, that's too bad, man. The event in Calgary was initially to be held in an open field to later become Canada Olympic Park, but the city requested it to be held at McMahon Stadium instead, as it would permit better organization and security. The tour ultimately began in Toronto at the CNE Grandstand, which was plagued with about 2,500 protesters who objected to what they viewed as exploitation by promoters charging $14 per ticket. Let me ask you a question about that. Going back to 1970, right? $14 for a ticket, I guess, back then is a lot of money. And, well, considering the really, really high caliber acts, you might not think so. But, I made a joke about market research. Why was market research not done so that you had an idea ahead of time as to how the reception would be in regards to ticket sales and that sort of thing? So fill me in the atmosphere back in 1970. Was it something that people should not have just expected? Or did they promote it as something that, well, yeah, you can just show up anyway? It seems like promotions failed initially there, where you were trying to promote this thing and attract a certain crowd and not letting them know, good disclosure, not letting them know what they can expect when they got there, where it comes to the charges for the tickets, the accommodations, the setting, the atmosphere, all of that sort of thing, just really laying out a really good track to run on. It seems that is the ultimate failure there. Am I right about that? With that structure in place, it would have probably went smoother and hence paved the way for maybe future events. I'm not sure. And turning a decent profit without all kinds of challenges like protesting and stuff. Man, where the hell was I now? The opposition was organized by the May 4th movement, the left rebel group that grew out of the May 4th, 1970 Kent State shootings. You see? I remember, yeah, okay. So all of that stuff was going on at the time. They attempted to crash the gates and scale the fence and clashed with police, resulting in injuries to both protesters and police. To help calm the crowd, Metro Police Inspector Walker McKay asked the promoter, Ken Walker, to lower ticket prices, but this would have left the promoters unable to pay the musicians. Subsequently, Jerry Garcia, in conjunction with Magahay, was instrumental in calming the unruly crowd by arranging a spontaneous free rehearsal concert in nearby Coronation Park upon a flatbed truck, while the scheduled show continued to the stadium. Yeah, man, that alone right there prevented a whole bunch of chaos and injury. More kids would have been hurt. More police would have been hurt. A lot more tear gas would have been used, and it could have just been a complete washout, So it's a good thing that they came up with that, let me tell you. Once the free concert, which began at about 7 p.m. on June 27th, was announced, most of the ticketless fans dispersed to Coronation Park with an initial attendance of about 6,000, thereby resolving the protest. Once the show at the CNE Grandstand ended at 12:30 a.m., another 6,000 fans went to the park for the remainder of the free concert, which lasted until about 4 a.m. on June 28th. Okay, yeah, I was trying to get an idea of the timeline in my mind, how long they were allowed to jam for, and I think that I'm guessing different regions will have different rules. Okay, you're closer to a residential area in this particular place, so noise ordinance and all that stuff is in place, only allowing you to jam up until 1 a.m. or whatever. But in different locations, you can jam up to 4 a.m., I guess. Playing at Coronation Park were the Grateful Dead, Ian and Sylvia, and the Great Speckled Bird. James and the Good Brothers, the New Riders of the Purple Sage, all of whom also performed at the CNE concert. Other local Toronto bands also played. There are some reports indicating a free concert was also performed on the second day, albeit to a much smaller crowd of about 500, as many of the protesters paid admission to the event on the second day. Many people spent the night and following day sleeping in the park until the second show at CNE Grandstand ended at 12:30 a.m. on June 29. On the way to Winnipeg, the second stop on the tour, the train stopped in Chapleau, Ontario to replenish its dwindling alcohol supply, buying out the entire stock of a small liquor store. The Winnipeg show had only a modest turnout of 4,600, partly due to fears about crowd violence based on the events in Toronto, and partly due to the Manitoba Centennial appearance by Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau. The event was not plagued by protest or violence, however. In Calgary, the third and final stop, the police wished to avoid the protests witnessed in Toronto, and their presence seemed to subdue the crowds outside the stadium, though there were many complaints about the ticket prices. It was estimated that 1,000 people managed to sneak in on Saturday by climbing fences early in the day, but security was tightened, and by the afternoon and Sunday, fewer people managed to breach the fences. See the crazy things they did back then just to get into this venue. It was just a place to be, man. However, there was a heated altercation between promoter Ken Walker and Calgary Mayor Rod Sykes after Sykes strongly suggested to Walker on Sunday afternoon that he open the gates and let the kids in free after the show was well underway. Walker, who was livid about the mayor's intrusion and his reference to Walker as Eastern scum trying to skim the young people of Calgary, claimed to have punched the mayor in the mouth and boasted that he still had a scar on his hand to prove it. What do you think of that shit? Do you think that really happened? Let me know what you think. The tour had an original budget of about $900,000, of which $500,000 was for musical talent, but largely due to less than predicted turnout, gross receipts were just over $500,000, and the project ultimately lost between $350,000 and $500,000 for the promoters. Although the tour was a financial failure, it produced many notable performances. And in the film, Mickey Hart of the Grateful Dead said, "Woodstock was a treat for the audience, but the train was a treat for the performers." Jerry Garcia later said that what he remembers most about the tour is being so blisteringly drunk. Unquote. Did you remember professing your love to Janis Joplin? Box office reception. The film earned $1.2 million at the box office, and DVD went straight in at number 1 on the music, video, and concert DVD top sellers chart at Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, Tower Records, etc., and has had an average customer viewing ratings of 4.5 stars out of 5. According to Rotten Tomatoes, Festival Express was the second most critically acclaimed film released in 2004. Alright, y'all. So that is Wikipedia's account of Festival Express Rockumentary and the Concert Festival of 1970. Wow. What an incredible concept. What a great idea. And I guess when you're organizing something like that, the magnitude of it, so many moving parts, so many things to tie down, it's just not going to be perfect. And that was a really great undertaking. Let me know what you think about that. Maybe it was just too big, too tremendous. And again, bringing me back to that very ignorant question that I'm going to ask again. Was it easier to do it in Canada first and then perhaps in the States? Or was it just a complete no-go in the States at all? Because it seems to me that if you did it in the States, you would have more. It would be a bigger bang, perhaps, for the buck. I'm not sure. But answer that for me. Why was Canada chosen over the States? Was it as a tryout? Was it easier going with the Canadian National Railway? Was it the venues were able to be tied down, whereas, let's say, perhaps in the States they weren't? What were those variables there? That's what I want to know, right? And when you're sitting there comparing apples to oranges, what made them choose Canada over the States? That's my question. All right. So, y'all, that completes our look at this great rockumentary. Shout out and thanks again to Finesse and Yogi Schultz, and also to Jack Serra. And what I'll do is I'll link his actual quad in the description here. But I'd be really surprised if this made it up onto YouTube. But if it does, yeah, you'll see those links, man. So coming up next, man, Pete, Two Beer Pete. What is it? A full album Pete's got for me. I think it's the Cars debut album. And Carmine's got some Frank Zappa. Don and Sasha, I can't remember what those lads have, but it's always cool. I bet you Don has some hard rock for us, probably some Priest, something like that. Anyways, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I did very much. I really dig rockumentaries. Going forward, with my time being so limited, I won't be able to do long-ass reactions like this anymore. But I did really enjoy this one. So thanks again, Finesse. I appreciate it. Have a good one, y'all. Take care. And I've got an announcement coming up later on today. So keep your eyes and ears open for that, all right? I'll talk to you soon. Peace.